As cars make their way onto the track here at Lucas Oil Speedway, we are live on Shaggy TV for the Pro Dirt Racing League, and boy, oh boy, have we been treated to some great races last week. Let me refresh your mind. The top 10 from Bristol: Braden Carter edged out Michael Carter. Dalton Butcher finished third. Robbie Milburn fourth, and Clinton McClellan the top 5. Your current top 5 in points. Well, a couple names are going to be familiar on that list. Braden Carter, your current point leader, he's got a 4-point lead. Michael Carter second there to his son Braden, and Robbie Milburn hanging around there in P3. Tyson Banks fourth, and Justin Brown currently fifth. So right now, anybody's ball game. Long way to go. If you're keeping track of poles like I am, Michael Carter's your leader. He's got 2 poles this year. Blackjack got 1, Braden got 1, and the Butcher got 1 as well here. Braden Carter also leads the way. Young Scrappy Doo here with wins. He's got 3 wins. The old man, Big Papa Michael Carter here, he's got 1, and Scott Fritz, he's the only man without the last name Carter to win a feature here this season. So right now there are a lot of guys looking at these lap times here coming in. We'll change this over, let you see their actual best time, but there are some guys who'd like to change that. Kevin Brow, you see in that 26, finds himself at the top of the charts right now. Blackjack right there, P2 and 21, and well, Blackjack, he moves on up to the top of the charts. Let's get a view here of this 21 machine. There, well, actually, he puts it at the top, and then he says, boys, enough's enough. I'm going to pull in. I don't want to show everyone what I'm working with here as Brandon Costello rips around in this 77. So let's see here, trying to mess around with this bottom thing. Not too sure why when we do that. It just minimizes his into the bottom corner. That is going to bug me. I'm going to flirt with that throughout the night here. Let's go right around with the 012. Dylan Woods finds himself on the high side right now. Clint McClellan in the 170. Fishing down low in the basement here. And we're going to see 2 lines early on. I imagine, they see the top shelf become a little dominant here as before the night closes out. But all in all, it's going to be some good 2-wide racing as these guys demonstrating that here right now. We got Braden Carter here, young Scrappy, riding around the Stevens City, Virginia native. Big Papa up here in front. Now, I'm guessing Michael and Braden here. Never know. They're disagreeing here, I think, on where they want to live, unless they do live in 2 different towns, but that's a discussion here for a different day. They can agree on the state. At least they can both agree that they live in Virginia here. Is their number 1 fan, Roxanne. We got Roxanne out here watching this evening. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, appreciate the loyalty, like talking to you here every Thursday night. The Butcher out here in the 38 machine. Got a little pink on it this week. I can dig that. So watch him wrap around a little bit. We'll play with some different views here tonight. We'll probably do a little crank it up here where Shaggy gives himself a 30-second break to crack open another one of these. Ice cold Mountain Dew here to fuel me through the evening. I'm a big fan of the stationary cameras, just sitting watching, listening to the sounds. That's a big part of racing as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure everyone out there who fell in love with dirt track racing the same way I have. You fall in love with not only the sounds, but man, that smell of that burning fuel, it's something you can't forget, and it's something you can't get out of your clothes either. You smell it for a little bit after, but You know, I'll tell you what, that's going to put a wrap here on the opening warm-up session. Blackjack right now, top of the charts here. And, well, something we didn't touch on there, and, you know, they do if you finish in the top 3, you got to take the EOL next week. So, Braden Carter, Michael Carter, and Dalton Butcher, they are taking the EOL. And if indeed Scott Fritz does decide to show up this evening, he also has an EOL for not taking it the other week. But let's go ahead, let's cut this off. Pay attention to the bottom of the screen. You know the deal. Purple, fastest out of anyone. Green, your personal best time. And, well, yellow, you don't want yellow. That's bad. That means you're slow. And the Dalton Butcher, man, right now, purple. Let's see another purple. You know what that means? He's going to jump to the top of the charts here early. The Butcher with quick time. Let's watch KB here. Kevin Brow in the 26. Let's see what he can do. Tyson Banks in the 747. You saw a purple there. He's quick time. Tyson Banks moves to the top of the chart. Slower through Sector 1 on lap number 2. Can he improve here through Sector 2? Yellow, yellow. Not going to like that. Let's see what he's got here on lap number 3. The current quick man. Tyson Banks, slower through Sector 1. We see it come up here. He comes. Sector 2, not going to improve, but still going to stay on the pole for now. As let's ride around Dylan Woods here on lap number 1, rolling through 3 and 4. Dylan Woods. Purple in Sector 2, but just couldn't find that time in Sector 1. He's currently sitting P3. He's going to take that, but man, he'd like 2 more spots here. Can he find time? Oh, we got a new sheriff in town, the 170, Clinton McClellan. That final lap, or no, he's going to go in here, reset. A lot of the good guys, they do that here. Going to go off, cool the tires. He'll run that out lap. No, he's just going to take it easy here. He sees his quick time. That's probably smart here. Let's watch little Scrappy Doo come out of 3 and 4. Can he improve on his final lap? Braden Carter does improve in Sector 2. He's going to stay P4 for now, though. As Big Papa, he's got himself out on there. Michael Carter, what can the Big Carter do here? Basically been racing his son here for wins these past couple weeks, and the young gun, well, he's been taking the dad to school here. Can Michael reverse the roles here as Jesse Newsom, lap number 1, he comes in P2. Michael Carter 4th here. Jesse Newsom not going to go with the restart like we see Michael Carter doing. A lot of those guys, like I say, it has to do with tire heat. Go in there, get those fresh tires. And Jesse, he says, F it. I'm going to let it swing out here. I'm going to see what I got. And right now, P2's the best he can do. Slower through Sector 1. Final time through 3 and 4. He's going to stay P2. Let's go see what Big Papa can do here. 3rd and final lap. Michael Carter coming around. We're waiting to see a little bit of green or yellow or something on the bottom. Michael Carter, green, green. Well, he improves. Can he cake the pole? Michael Carter, quick time. And the man with the most poles this season, I believe, we'll check that information again, finds himself at the top of the charts again, while Robbie Milburn right now, P5, looking to improve. Slower Sector 1. Can he find time here in Sector 2? No, he's going to stay P5. Blackjack, Justin Brown here, your last qualifier out on the track. Let's see what Blackjack can do in the 21. Quicker through Sector 1. Can he find time here through 3 and 4 as he pushes on exit? Really flirts with that wall. Slows down. Not going to improve. And Blackjack, he's going to stay P12. So Michael Carter steals that pole again. Pole number 3. And, well, he'd like to add another one into the win column. You know, getting the pole goes a long way, but when you find yourself finishing up in the top 3 and you gotta go with that feature EOL, it is tough to make up the ground. And Blackjack, I don't think you're washed, boss. Sitting there in the top 5 in points, that would be quite the stretch here. But Dustin Bohannon, these laps aren't counting. Just getting a little bit of track time here, so let's see. Let's see what that D13's looking like here. KMZ Media machine. Just gonna stay out here. Let's ride on board. Yeah, that 3-lap qualifying, it sometimes catches me off guard, to be honest with you. And, you know, that's what allows those guys to go in there and just scrap lap number 2, really go out there, rip the lip on the out lap, and go out for it on lap number 1, reset, get the cooled off tires, and go do the same thing again on lap number 3. That's what we see a lot of the big dogs do. Now, I do that, but I'll tell you what, I finished behind those big dogs, so not everyone who does that has the talent or skill for it, that's for sure. I am in that category. As we get ready for heat race number 1. That's not the front row. That is the front row. Little magic appears. Big Papa Michael Carter starting on the pole and is outside in the 8. Jesse Newsom inside of row number 2 in the 80. Robbie Milburn into his outside. Little scrappy do Braden Carter inside of row number 3 in that 7. Brandon Costello into his outside in that D13. Dustin Bohannon. Rounding out the field in the 080 machine, Brian Gunderson. Six laps here around Lucas Oil. Don't blink. It's going to go quick here around the small track. We're going to watch them roll through 3 and 4, and then we're going to cut up here to the flag stand if we can find it. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 underway. Let's go play. Michael Carter with a good jump here. Jesse Newsom trying to shut the door on Robbie Milburn, able to do so for now. And Robbie Milburn, he had to cut his momentum up, and all of a sudden he's got Scrappy Doo behind him. Braden Carter knowing, hey, you know, it doesn't necessarily matter where I finish here. Got to go to the back. I'm getting an EOL anyway in this feature. So this is a case of where when you're him or Michael here, you're just not out here making enemies. You're just out here trying to learn the track, seeing what guys do, trying to see if you can do things and make them adjust to your driving style here as we're coming around through 3 and 4. Jesse Newsom looks low, almost gets into the inside tractor tire. We're halfway. Lost a lot of momentum. He's going to have to see if he can regain it here. His little Scrappy Doo goes to the inside of Robbie Milburn. Advantage to the outside, though, right now as he carries all the momentum from the top shelf. 2 sticks in the air, 2 more trips around. Can anybody knock Michael Carter off that top spot right now? And as we roll through 3 and 4, white flag in the air, final lap. Doesn't look like it, but if you got anything, you got to throw it now. Jesse Newsom, can you go up there and make the move? You got nobody behind you. Do we get a big send in 3 and 4? No, he's just going to bite the bullet, run the lip. Final time through 3 and 4. Big Papa wins heat number 1, followed by Jesse Newsom, Robbie Milburn, Scrappy Doo, Dustin Bohannon, Brandon Costello, and Brian Gunderson. As we get ready for heat race number 2. And that's going to look a little something like this. Starting on the pole in the 170, we've got Clinton McClellan into his outside in the 747 machine, Tyson Banks. Inside of row number 2, the Butcher, Dalton Butcher, into his outside in the 012, Dylan Woods. KB to the inside of row number 3, that 26, Kevin Brow, into his outside, Blackjack, Justin Brown. Rounding out the field in the double deuce, Jacob Thomas. As I told you, heat race number 1 there. Gonna go quick. As I don't, Jacob Thomas. You may have been with us before here. Jacob, fill out the SDK. We'll get your information out there. But to me, you're a new guy. I'd love to know where you're from. Get your sponsors listed on that little bar I got if you go check this out. Any of the drivers in here, they'll let you know what to do. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 underway. 6 laps at Lucas Oil. Let's go play. Clinton McClellan with an excellent jump there, able to slide up. But Tyson Banks in that 747 goes right to the basement. He's going to throw a slider through 3 and 4. 170, got to crack the throttle and come back with one of his own. 5 to go. Do-si-do, anything you can do, I can do better, says a 747, and he's going to feed him another one here through 3 and 4. Can the 170 answer back at the line? Too close to call. Back and forth, back and forth. Dalton Butcher watching these guys go at it, licking his lips here. Love to see a little contact. Would love to get a 2-for-1 as at the line this time. Advantage 170. Clinton McClellan here going down the backstretch. He carries the momentum. Tyson Banks not able to slide up in here with 2 to go. We're side by side at the line. Tyson Banks with a big slider. Clinton McClellan goes back to the basement here. The Butcher tries to cut his way through, but not enough room. White flag in the air, final time around. Tyson Banks gonna send it in here. He had the room, but leaves the top shelf open. Is he gonna regret it? Final time through 3 and 4. Tyson on the bottom. Clinton up top. Who you got at the line? McClellan just edges out Banks by 0.02 of a second. The Butcher brings home P3. Dylan Woods, Kevin Brow rounding out the top 5. As you know the deal here, we're going to mute me up here. Going to let the drivers go up into the waiting room. I'm going to go sit there, be quiet, listen to them, and we're going to find out what the top 6 really looks like, and we'll get ready for tonight's feature event here at Lucas Oil Speedway, so stick around. Alrighty, gonna unmute things, and well, we're gonna read you off that top 6. You know the deal here. I can't make my grid read it correctly here because they do something off the Iracing platform to grid the top 6 here. They take the top 3 from each heat, minus the guys that are forced the invert from finishing in the top 3 last week. So we're gonna bring up this starting grid here. We're gonna cut right down. And there are going to be a couple guys who are off here, but we'll try to read this off because, like I say, the Carters, they get moved, they get moved to the back. So some things will sniff around here, but starting on the pole in the 012 machine, we've got Dylan Woods into his outside in that D13, Dustin Bohannon. Inside of row number 2 in the number 8, Jesse Newsom into his outside in the 80, Robbie Milburn. Inside of row number 3, the 170 of Clinton McClellan. And to his outside, that 747 of Tyson Banks. Okay, so now it's going to have Braden Carter in. Yeah, so that's not going to be much help. We're going to assume here row DB, he got pulled up into that. With the guys getting the invert, it's tough here. We're just going to scrap this. And we're gonna call it as best as Shaggy can. And so 7th, right now we got Kevin Brow, Brandon Costello, row number 4. Row number 5, Blackjack Justin Brown and Brian Gunderson. Row number 6, The Butcher and Michael Carter. Rounding out the field, Braden Carter and Jacob Thomas out there as well. So that's going to be what the tail end looks like. That's as best as we can get it. My apologies, but as we roll down the backstretch for the final time, you see him They're getting a little impatient here. Motor's starting to get loud. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Let's go play in the clay at Lucas Oil Speedway. 50 trips around the sun. Dylan Woods gets a big run on that top shelf in the 0-1-2 as he tries to drive away and set the pace. He knows he's going to have two Carter boys on the climb here. And, you know, speaking of it here, they're going early. Braden right now looking in the middle, 3 wide. As we go back to the front, they're 3 wide for the lead. Dustin Bohannon, that lucky number 13 machine, he's trying to get a little busy. As crank it up, I'm going to be quiet for a lap here. Let's listen to him roar. I mean, these boys letting it eat all over the track. You find a line out there, and somebody is on that thing. It's unbelievable. Not one unused piece of dirt out here at Lucas Oil. And look at them running side by side. Clean as, oh, you know what? The 747 of Tyson Banks almost gets into the rear end of Robbie Milburn. Tyson Banks trying to fish that 747, just trying to find a little hole between Clinton and Robbie, but right now no openings here as Clinton makes a move. He does get by Robbie Milburn. The 170 moves on up. Clinton here trying to see if he can go up, run these front 3 down. You don't want to let them get away. And, well, Jesse's doing his best here not to let them get away. Trying to work hard here, P2, running against those inside tires. Now, why it may not work right now, okay, maybe Jesse's playing the long game. 50 laps here at Lucas Oil Speedway. I mean, we're gonna see some tire wear, whether these guys want to face it or not. You go out there and you beat down that outside, you run that cushion. Well, I'll tell you what, your right rear is going to be paying for it on about lap 42, and maybe Jesse in that 8 playing the long game. Long way to go here as we watch the battle behind. Clinton McClellan and Robbie Milburn back at it. KB on the top shelf in that 26. Started 10th up to 5th. Big mover right now, him. I guess, well, Jesse Newsom, Dylan Woods, I can't really get an accurate there. Whoa, caution is out. Who do we got? The lucky number 13, not so lucky. DB Dustin Bohannon finds himself in the wall. Let's go see if we can figure out what happened. He was running in second. So we see he gets a good run here on Dylan. Gonna send it in, and oh, he gets a little bit of help from the inside tire. Dylan Woods barely makes it around the outside, and man, that KMZ medium machine, he's going to need to take that thing to the infield, get that thing repaired. Let's take one more look here at the accident. Let's ride on board. You know, you just see, there you see the 0-1-2 gets a little loose, and he gets excited. This is my chance. This is my chance. Whoops! And into that outside wall, but able to keep it out of contact with everyone else, and find ourselves under caution for the first time here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Great racing so far out front. As we'll see here if we can get a view. Let's see if these lights are off. The lights are off. Pace truck gonna pull off the track, and well, it's time to go play once again here. We're a 5th of the way through. Dylan Woods, this would be his first win of the season. Would love to seal the deal here as we roll through 3 and 4. Restarts on the leader. He fires. Let's go play in the clay. Trouble in the back. Let's watch him. That's Dustin Bohannon as he's across the line late. Jesse Newsom with a big run on the top shelf, though. He steals the lead from the 0-1-2, and we've got a new leader this time around. Battle on here as Blackjack finds himself in the middle here. He's got a little Scrappy Doo to his outside, and he's got Big Papa here looking to the inside of Clinton McClellan, I believe. right now to his inside, but car in the wall. Brandon Costello, can he make it onto pit road? Not as of now. No caution just yet. Caution does come out. We do get a caution, and well, we saw what happened there. Brandon Costello gets into the outside wall. We clicked the wrong accident. That accident should look familiar. This is the correct accident. Let's see if we can figure out what led to that. Just gets into the wall in the front stretch and loses steering, finds himself in the outside wall, and we're under caution for the second time at Lucas Oil. So let's go back to, while we get a chance, let's see if we can take a look at this pass for the lead here. This is Newsom to the outside. Woods just couldn't get up and close the door, and Newsom able to just take advantage of that momentum coming out of 2 and beats him going into 3 and 4 and never looks back here as we get ready to go back racing once again here. And or no, lights are still on, excuse me. Lights are still on. Not going back just yet. If you're out there watching, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat box. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, if Facebook's easier, Shaggy finally figured that out. We're live on Facebook now too, on Shaggy TV as well. So find that page, give me the like over there, and make sure you 100% don't miss a show. Here's the pace truck is off. We roll down the backstretch for the final time, and Jesse Newsom chooses that outside lane. He's going to bring us back to the green flag here as we roll through 3 and 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Lap 15 this time by 35 laps still, so plenty of time. If you're a driver, you got to be patient, but can you really be that patient when a man named Braden Carter is on the move? Had that EOL, had to start in the back. Well, he don't care. He's up into the top 5 already. This kid, he's unstoppable as he looks to the inside of Kevin Brow in that 26 machine. Can he slide up and shut the door? Of course he can. Anything. Oh, man, this kid, he's just unbelievable. Moves on up into the top 5. Jesse Newsom, he's got to try to walk away a little bit. You got to try to extend this lead. You got the Carters coming. You can't take your time. You got to move here. As Dylan Woods maybe feeling that same pressure as well as Robbie Milburn. You're seeing lap times. We're going to bring them up here. We go to Dylan. Let's show you the top 3 here. Just to look at him, who is the fastest car on track. So Dylan Woods right now, the last 2 laps, has currently been the fastest car on the racetrack. Let's watch it one more time here. I think if we move down one more spot, I think we're going to see a lot of green on a number 5 car. Okay, not as much green as I thought there, but 2/10 the last lap. You see Braden Carter, he's got a hot rod. The top 7, you see Justin Brown, or Blackjack there, Justin Brown. Top 7 pretty much in line as he's the first person to duck out. Dylan Woods a little trouble there through 3 and 4, got into the outside wall. And Jesse, he extends that lead a little bit. Blackjack, you see the slider there on Tyson Banks, able to fit it in, but now Tyson, he's going to send it back in. You can't get into the outside of KB here. Tyson's got a lift, and now Blackjack, be careful here. Man, every time he flips over the cards, they show up 21. The dude's lucky here. Finds himself in the middle, 3 wide. Got Tyson at the line. 1 lap away here as we come around. We're going to get the halfway point as Jesse Newsom rolls through 3 and 4. We're going to get the cross flags this time by, or excuse me, 26 laps to go. That's right. Shaggy needs to do a little math. The laps count here. So 1 more lap here. Now we'll get the cross flags here as we come out of 3 and 4. We're at the halfway point, 25 laps to go. It's Michael Carter here. He's been as patient as he can be. Got to turn that wick up soon. Finds himself in 8th place. He's watching his son dice through traffic, 4 or 5 cars ahead of him. You got to think, going to start pounding the button here soon. His patience are going to wear thin in that 15. Robbie Milburn looks to the bottom here, tries to find a way under Dylan Woods. Just couldn't carry momentum off of 4, had to fall back in line. As we come out of 2, he's got Scrappy Doo right behind him, and Blackjack there trying to sneak into the picture. Scrappy's down in the basement here as he looks to take that final podium spot. Looks to do it with ease here. Dylan Woods hops the cushion. That's going to allow a slider here. Scrappy's got to park it up there. Robbie gets into Dylan as Dylan tries to counter under. Dylan thought there was room. There was none. Blackjack finds a way around. Real quick, Scrappy right back around. Can Blackjack send it back in? Back and forth, back and forth. Dylan Woods wants back in the action here. 20 laps around, and Jesse loves what he sees in that rearview mirror. Scrappy advantage coming out of 4. Let's see what it looks like here. Blackjack gonna send it back in here. Big slider. Dylan Woods making it 3 wide. These guys, they've gotta be having fun. Smiles ear to ear inside of those cars right now as they are duking it out. KB feeling a little pressure from behind here as he wants to hold on to that top 5, but Robbie Milburn, man, he's in a points battle. He needs this. He's watching Braden drive off here. He needs to get back up into the top 5, but Robbie Milburn in the 80 just can't find it right now. Michael Carter trying to look by here, trying to look under. I mean, he's running out of time. They're going to need a caution if they want to tighten up to that 8 at Jesse. That is the last thing that 8 wants. As the leaders come through 3 and 4, you see there's Jesse. I mean, he's coming up on lap traffic, so never know. Lappers could be an issue here as the race progresses here. Battle for second, though. Braden and Blackjack going at it. Blackjack, man, I mean, he felt like he was kind of ripped off at Bristol last week. Saved his stuff, and as he's making his move, gets involved in an accident that's nothing to do with him. And, you got to think, did he play his cards right? Fell back a little in the beginning. Probably saved a little bit of that right rear tire like Shaggy was talking about. And, able to move his way on up to P2, but 1 second gap to the leader, needs to make up, about 1/10 of a second here, a lap with 12 to go, if he wants to be able to run him down. And now the man, Michael Carter, we talked about it. He was under Robbie Milburn early, couldn't get the move done, and he's still stuck behind Robbie. And now he's got Tyson Banks to his inside. Is Tyson Banks in that 747 trying to move his way back on up through the field. Back to the battle for P2 here as Blackjack seems to be pulling away from Braden ever so slightly. Let's take a look. Let's look at the top 3 here. Let's see what the lap times look like. Blackjack, you see the last 5 laps has been faster than your leader up until right now. Jesse Newsom faster than Blackjack the last time around, and right now it's a lot of give and take. It seems like if Blackjack's making 400s, he's giving it up as this time around. Gets a 1/10 on your leader. Cut that lead down to about 7/10 of a second at the line. This could get close here, but that 21, man, you got to be perfect from here on out. You got 7 trips around the sun. Look at him. He's closing in. Blackjack, he's got the fangs seeping out here. Caution is out, and I don't think this is what the 21 car wanted here. He's running down your leader. He's going to get a final shot at this thing. And now, with a caution out, there may be a couple more players in this thing. And that is not what Blackjack wanted to see. Is Tyson Banks in the 747 look to be involved in this one. Let's see what we can see here. Now on the bottom under Robbie Milburn. Just gets a little help from Michael Carter. Maybe gets a little sideways on entry. Couldn't tell here. Let's see if we can try to zoom out. No, I mean, look to be, running that pretty similar line. Michael barely gets in there, but just enough. And Tyson Banks going to have to go to the back of the field. Michael Carter as well. That's something that all involved go to the rear. I grew up my dirt track. That was the rule. Even if you necessarily, you didn't do it on purpose, you're involved, you go to the rear. I'm a big fan of that rule. As the pace truck is off, and we'll roll down the backstretch here one more time. And when we get that green flag, we're going to have 6 more laps to go. Can Blackjack go steal this one from Jesse Newsom? Jesse's got to nail this restart. Here's the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 6 laps. Let's go play at Lucas Oil. Blackjack back to the bottom. Jesse going to go down there and shut the door here. As we're going to see, is that the move here for Jesse? Hasn't run it all race. It's tough to go down there and adjust your line on the fly. He's going to go down there and do it, but he's not hitting it perfectly. He's leaving it open here. They make a little contact. They bump. Rubbin's racing. You got fenders. Use them side by side. 4 to go at the line this time by who you got? Blackjack, Jesse Newsom, or you got Scrappy Doo here. You can't count out the young kid. As look, he's sticking his nose in here. As we come across the line here, 3 to go. Man, too close to call. No idea who that would have been, but right now, you gotta think, advantage 21. He reeled in the leader. He's hooking up on the bottom. He almost gets into the tires in 1 and 3 and 4. Oh, can he shut the door on Scrappy? Scrappy trying to wheel his way down there in the bottom. He's got to crack the throttle. They make contact. Coming through 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Final time around, this time by. Can Blackjack go steal it? Jesse Newsom, he's got to be perfect. Blackjack slides up here. They're side by side as they enter 3 and 4. Final time. Who's going to get it? Oh, it looks like advantage. Blackjack got him at the line. He led 1 lap. The most important one, Justin Brown, steals the show and edges Jesse at the line. Oh, man, you can almost hear the defeat already from Jesse Newsom. That is going to be a tough pill to swallow for Jesse as we go back and we take a look at this final lap here at Lucas Oil Speedway. We're going to go up here to the little Chapman Racing drone camera here. We're going to watch this aerial. We're just going to see, Justin, he was perfect through 1 and 2. Maybe slipped up a little bit there to Jesse on the exit and right here. Justin, can you be better than that through 3 and 4 when it matters? We're watching the race coming to the line. Advantage, Blackjack, but the speed to Jesse on the outside, and man, the 21 edges him at the line by about 1/4 of a car. Blackjack steals the show at the line, and man, oh man, with that, we're going to give these guys a minute or two to catch their breath here and make their way on up to the broadcast booth here. But Braden Carter, after having to start in the back, drives his way on up to that podium, and he's going to be happy with that one, I think. All in all, a good points day is we do got a Scrappy Doo here in the waiting room, so let's bring up the young kid here. Hey, Braden, Shaggy up here in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Well, man, they don't make it easy on you. You drive your way back up into the top three, and man, you're gonna have to do it all again next week, kid. Talk to us about your adventure on up through the field.
Well, it was that last restart. Really, really good car. Justin hit the tires. I got under him. Fortunately, he pinched me down the tires. Then I hit the tire. That's really the race for me. I feel like I could have won that if that didn't happen. Car was really good. I could make it work top one and two. Then got down there at the bottom once I saw him starting to mess up. And yeah, I don't know. I had a fast piece, but can't always execute.
No, yeah, I mean, I kind of when you go back and look at it, I mean, yeah, he definitely didn't give you much room, but in his defense, we'll say he races with the mirror off. Maybe didn't know you were there, but man, kid, you really turned it on at the end, and you gave us a hell of a show. I mean, three wide there with three to go. If not for a little mistake there, like you said, you had a piece tonight. There was a good chance we're talking to you last, but all in all, man, another podium for you here, and that's what this is all about here. We're points racing, and man, these top threes, they're going to get it done. So, hell of a job, Braden. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, good race to Justin. Good win to him. Good race to Jesse. Like it was close racing. It was for the win. Not mad at that at all. I gotta thank CSC Motorsports, my dad, Michael Carter, Coyote Racing, Kale Smith, um, Pillars of Graphics for the wrap, Branson Woodward, Randy Carter Payton, my granddad, um, Midwest Forklift LLC, Len Smith, and PDRL for another good show, and you for the broadcast, man.
Well, hey, man, hell of a job. Love watching you and the pops climb through the field here. He was on his way up too, but some late trouble for him sent him to the rear. But all in all, man, great race for you, and get to extend this points lead a little bit. So congratulations, Braden.
Appreciate it, man.
And we're gonna bring up now, man. Dude, oh man, I hate to do this. I really hate asking questions like this, Jesse. I have been in your shoes, I'm telling you, more times than not. I can't tell you how many of these I've lost here towards the end. And just looking back on it, man, is there anything you think maybe you could have done different? I mean, you dominate the show, and the late race caution, I mean, it really magnifies any mistake you may make there at the end.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a thousand things I could name off that I did wrong there, and I should have done better. And I think definitely I made a plan before the race, saying I was just gonna roll the bottom for like the first half, and then move up whenever I had the chance, and just see what I had at the end. And I got a little bit antsy too early there, and just took the lead early and got ahead of myself and thought I had it checked out. And that caution, definitely not what I wanted. And I mean, good race to Justin. He did everything that he needed to do, and he did everything right. That was an amazing race, and that was good. Good job to him.
Yeah, and it just shows the talent level that you have, that you can, you kind of recognize that mistake. And it's something, man, Jesse, it's new to all of us dirt guys. This tire wear, it's not something that we've really dealt with over these years. And we're seeing a lot of guys now, sandbag those first 10 or 15 laps, it seems like, and, try to save themselves, that little extra piece of right rear for the end. But man,
Oh
without
yeah.
that late race caution, it would have been real tough for him to get around you. I mean, he was running you down, but at the end the nerves get going, and you just want to go get back racing, and you maybe change your lineup a little bit on that restart, and maybe that's what cursed you. But at the end of the day, Jesse, like I told Braden, man, we're points racing, and you add up these podiums, dude. It's gonna look real good at the end of the season. So you can't hang your head, Jesse. Great run, man. Who you want to thank?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I mean, I just want to thank Robbie for putting this whole deal together and making it possible to run every week. And want to thank you for, giving us a broadcast that we can watch after, and all of our friends and family that can watch. And want to thank Derek for being in the booth the whole time, and making the right calls and doing whatever he needs to do. He definitely is a big help.
Yeah, man. Well, you guys are a big help to call in these races too. The way you guys run real hard, these real clean up front, man. This is a joy. It's a lot of fun. Hell of a job, Jesse. And you keep running like this, man. You're going to be on that top step here before the year's over.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now we're going to bring up your winner here, man. He's waited for this, and Justin, man, it's got to feel sweet. I brought up a little bit last week, at Bristol. We saw you coming through the field. You saved a little something, and you got caught up in something that you had nothing to do with. I mean, how's it feel tonight? You played the game. We watched you fall through the field, run the bottom, and you saved that piece for when you needed it. And man, you unleashed it, and boy, was that 21 fast.
Oh yeah, it feels great. I've been kicking myself in the butt for not being able to win one so far. I feel like I've definitely got the skill to do it. We've been kind of missing it on some spots. I'm not a fix set guy. Haven't been for the past, I don't know, year and a half. So I'm not used to it. And I don't practice with them. So it takes me about midway through the race to actually figure out how to drive them. And then I start picking up spots. I really didn't think this was going to happen after Ala qualified. I don't know what I was doing. And I couldn't pass nobody in the heat. Didn't feel all that great, but kind of just rode for a little while. The bottom 1 and 2 was way thinner than I expected it to be, but in 3 and 4 it was way better than I ever expected it to be. So kind of ran it for a little bit, started running the middle, tried the top a little bit until it started wearing down, and then knew that bottom was still there because nobody was really running it. And I think I got by Braden for second, and then started running bottom again. Started noticing I was catching Jesse a couple tenths every now and then, so I knew I had something for him. And I can't say that I didn't want that caution, considering it still helped me, but at the same time, I wasn't looking for it whenever I was catching them because I felt like I was
mind reader,
pulling on
Justin.
so much.
That was my next question. Mind reader.
Yeah, I was gonna be able to catch him. I just didn't know if he was gonna go down there, and he went down to the bottom right before the caution came out. So I knew he was going to try it. I think he just didn't get the chance to try it and figure out how to run it, especially in 1 and 2. It was really easy to miss the grip and slide up too much, and that was where I was able to get underneath them, and then it was kind of just a fight for the bottom.
Yes, that's actually something, dude, I wanted to get you to touch on here. So I think, that's obviously, list of things that could be it, but that's probably his biggest mistake there. I mean, he was running comfortably up top, and just talk to us. I mean, that bottom, dude, it looked real thin. I mean, for him to go down there, only a couple laps left and try it for the first time, I mean, that's a huge risk. I mean, how tough was it to hit the bottom consistently like that?
Hell, I think the first couple laps I started going to the bottom. Every time I went in 1 and 2, I slid up to a mid-track because I couldn't hit it and keep my momentum up enough while also hitting the grip to stay down there. And it took me he told me he saw me go to the bottom and he was still pulling away for a couple laps, and it was solely because I was missing it in 1 and 2, just because how thin and hard it is to hit it. But as soon as I started actually hitting it like I should have, that's when I started catching them. And it just took me about 3 or 4 laps, I feel like, to actually figure it out and figure out my entry to make it work. And once I did, I just knew I had to settle on that. I thought I threw this away, 2 laps to go, and I hit the freaking infield tire. I thought I was done. I thought there was no way I was catching him, but he just kept missing that entry a little bit and leaving that bottom just enough for me to get down there, and it worked out. I didn't think that I cut Braden off a little bit, but I mean, he was there on exit. He was underneath me a little bit, then had a gap, and then I was running as low as I could while also keeping my momentum up, and I think he just kept a little straighter, got below me a little bit, and tried to fill a gap that was rapidly closing, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's a fight for the bottom. There's no way to not have something like that happen.
Yeah, no, and you basically, I tried to politely explain it that way as well, that, it's real easy, as well as I do. You see something in the car, emotions going high, he sees the door open, but man, truly, that's a gap that's not really a gap.
Yeah.
I
wasn't letting it be a gap for long, that's for sure.
No, yeah, you're doing what you got to do at that point. You showed, you kind of showed him even that the bottom was fast. So at that point, you're committed. You got to run that bottom. And, well, Blackjack, man, first win of the year, dude. Got to feel good. And, man, you had to freaking work for this one. So hopefully the next one's come a little bit easier, my man. But congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, we're going to see if we can make these more often, but we'll have to see how it goes. Big shout out to everybody here at PDRL. They do a fantastic job. Robbie's a little buddy of mine. He brought me into this with the team and everything since he joined our team, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm usually not a fix set guy, but I mean, for a fix set race, these things go pretty good, and there's a lot of good drivers in here. So big shout out to everybody with that. Warrior Racing, Warrior Wraps. Nick with Warrior Wraps does a killer job with our wraps as always, and I'm getting him to do some changes with this wrap to kind of honor the Blackjack thing soon. So you'll see that shortly, I assume. But
My man.
Big shout out to them. Shout out to you for streaming it, my wife for letting me do my thing, and my nephew for wanting to hang out at the house and watch this in the living room so we can see how this goes.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm not supposed to be rooting for anybody, but dude, after the way you were coming up through the field at Bristol, man, I wanted you to get one, and boy, I'm pumped for you. Congratulations, man. Like I say, you had to work for this one. So you made it a show for us. Big win here, and man, hopefully it's one of many more to come here. Congratulations, my man.
I appreciate it.
And with that, we'll send him home here. And, you kind of saw it there from the zoomed out view. And trust me, I know young Scrappy, man, he wanted to make that work. And that's just because he's, I'm not trying to offend the drivers here, but with what I see, and man, dude, that age, it's crazy what some of these kids can do. He's clearly one of the most talented guys in here. And, when you see the gap, you just want to make it work. But sadly, not really enough there to get it done. And man, Blackjack able to shut that door and goes and drives on by the 8 there as you see the checkered flag flying. And man, Jesse just spins it out. Little disgusted here, but can't blame him. Tough for him. Leads the majority of the race, loses it at the end. And man, we got a story going into next week here. Michael Carter does not have to start in the back here. He will not have a feature EOL. So if the man can go out and get his 4th pole of the season and go out and dominate another heat race, Michael Carter would love to get some of those points back. As that's going to do it for us here tonight on Shaggy TV. Thanks for tuning into the Pro Dirt Racing League. Oh man, I got the hiccups a little bit. My apologies. We're going to do that again. Thanks for tuning in here on the Pro Dirt Racing League. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV. Have a good evening.